Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. CARICOM's incoming chair chides regional colleagues for discriminatory practices regarding travel during the pandemic. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 7th July 2021. Details when we return.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. The new CARICOM chairman says the discriminatory practice within the region of banning travel from member states with elevated levels of COVID should be discouraged. He also says that there should be harmonized regional health protocols for travel that are clear to the public within CARICOM. Joel Brown of TV6 News fills us in.
New chairman of CARICOM, Gaston Brown, who is also the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, identified a key aspect of getting regional travel back up and running as CARICOM's 15 member states continue to address the health and economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
In our tourism-based economies, the resumption of interregional travel is one key element in getting economic activity back to normal. Increased movement of people within our community would be a major boost to our economies in seeking to rebound. Just in this regard, we need to immediately establish common or harmonized regional health protocols for travel that are clear to the public and communicated widely.
While CARICOM member state Trinidad and Tobago earns much of its revenue from its oil and natural gas reserves, it also benefits from intra-regional travel. Prime Minister Brown spoke on the matter as he delivered his first address as CARICOM's chairman during its 42nd Heads of Government meeting, which was held virtually on Monday. Another CARICOM member state, Barbados, recently announced plans for a travel bubble, which was to have taken effect on June 30th. The plan involved fully vaccinated persons with a negative PCR test traveling to Barbados from specific countries with a low incidence of COVID-19 entering Barbados without any further tests upon their arrival. The Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, said during a news conference in Barbados on June 10th that the criteria does not apply immediately to Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Belize and Bahamas. However, Prime Minister Mottley said those 5 CARICOM states are still subject to the protocols in Barbados that existed before. While not mentioning Barbados or any other CARICOM member state by name, the new CARICOM chairman sought to make his position clear.
The discriminatory practice of banning travel from member states with elevated levels of COVID while accommodating guests from countries of higher risk should be discouraged.
On July 17th, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is set to lift its policy which had required those traveling to or from Trinidad and Tobago to seek exemptions from the National Security Minister. In the first instance, only Trinidad and Tobago nationals will be allowed to enter via commercial air travel. Vaccinated nationals will not have to quarantine upon their arrival, but non-vaccinated nationals will have to quarantine after they arrive. The new policy will also see the resumption of regular commercial flights by Trinidad and Tobago's state-owned Caribbean Airlines, which is to be downsized. Joel Brown, TV6 News.
The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago says strategic engagement and advocacy with high-level office holders in key capitals and international institutions during his 6-month term as the chairman of CARICOM have resulted in offers of vaccines. Meanwhile, the new CARICOM chair is calling on his fellow heads of government in the region to devise joint strategies to deal with COVID vaccine hesitancy within the region. TV6's Jewel Brown reports again.
As he began his address to the virtual 42nd regular meeting of the CARICOM heads of government, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley offered condolences to the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, on the passing last week of her younger brother.
Prime Minister Mottley, our prayers have been with you and those you hold dear at this time. May you continue to be the Caribbean family strength that you are, and may he rest in peace.
Prime Minister Rowley went on to speak about his term as the chairman of CARICOM.
Colleagues, it was an honor to serve as chairman of the Conference of CARICOM, heads of government, for the first 6 months of this tumultuous year. During that time, our countries have been faced with uncertainty on many fronts, from virus to vaccines to variants. Through it all, we have rallied and we now stand on a somewhat firmer ground as a result of the coordination and collaboration among member states, associate members, and our institutions.
The Prime Minister had been criticized by the opposition UNC on the government's acquisition of COVID vaccines for Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Rowley told the CARICOM meeting that CARICOM's early stance on equitable COVID-19 vaccine access, which the regional body articulated early in January, in his words, anchored the region's actions and continues to resonate globally, especially among developing countries.
We took the decision that, as chairman, I would write to specific heads of third states to request vaccines from their surplus supplies. This clarion call, as well as strategic engagement and advocacy with high-level office holders in key capitals and international institutions, have resulted in offers of vaccines from various channels. This has put us closer to our goal to inoculate as many of our citizens as possible, to ensure that they are protected from evolving mutations of the virus, and to enable us to return safely and sooner to bolstering livelihoods.
Speaking after Prime Minister Rowley was the new CARICOM chairman, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown. The new CARICOM chairman thanked Dr. Rowley for his 6-month tenure as the chairman of the 15-member regional grouping. And similar to recent remarks made by Prime Minister Rowley, Prime Minister Brown said the issue of COVID vaccinations is not just about acquiring vaccines.
I urge those who are reluctant to take the jab to think again. I appeal to your better nature and your appreciation of the well-being of yourself, your family, and your fellow citizens. No one is safe until everyone is safe. I call on my colleagues for us to give some time and attention over the next 2 days to this important question of vaccine hesitancy in our region.
The new CARICOM chairman expressed hope that his fellow CARICOM heads of government will devise joint strategies to tackle the issue.
It is vitally important for our economies to breathe again, for jobs to be retained, for our children to resume their education uninterrupted, and for something resembling a normal life to begin, to return to our businesses, our hotels, our schools, our farms, and all other aspects of our lives.
Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Outgoing chairman of CARICOM, Dr. Keith Rowley, insists that the regional bloc of nations is more relevant now than ever.
Addressing the 42nd meeting of leaders, Rowley stressed that the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic have only underscored the importance of the integration movement.
In dealing with this pandemic, it would have been unimaginable for any one of us to face it alone. We have shared resources, expertise, and support which have kept us afloat in turbulent times. The CARICOM identity belongs to all of us today, And today, as we acknowledge CARICOM Day, 20 years since the signing of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, I applaud the I Am CARICOM initiative, which seeks to bridge that divide and facilitate more active participation by our citizenry.
On the international front, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Barbados' National Storm Repairs Committee got down in earnest on Monday to provide relief to hundreds of Barbadians whose homes were damaged during the passage of Hurricane Elsa.
Housing Minister Dr. William Dugard, who visited the National Insurance Corporation units at Rosemont Deacons Road this morning, told reporters that a total of 250 NHC units had been damaged by the storm, but the situation was being dealt with. He also assured that all cases would be handled with urgency.
We've already completed 14 blocks in Deacons. We're now working here in Rosemont to get as many of them repaired as quickly as we can. And then when I leave here, I then move to a storm repairs committee meeting. That we have 95 houses that have completely collapsed, and we're prioritizing those and getting those contractors assigned, the sites cleared, and pushing to get as many of these people housed as possible. You'd appreciate that this is a big task that we have to do with over 1,200 reports, 900 houses that have roof problems, and many that are collapsed. And we have to prioritize, and every day, as the general manager is reminding me, every day more and more reports are coming in. So it's a lot to do, and we're on the ground getting as much done as we can to start with.
Meanwhile, General Manager of the National Housing Corporation, Ian Gill, told reporters that affected homeowners who need material to repair their homes can help to speed up the process if they have access to skilled personnel.
There are quite a few people who have skilled persons living in their communities who can assist and aid them. What I want to do at the National Housing to hasten the process is if you can get that skilled person to do the quantities for the work that has to be done, inclusive of hurricane straps, etc. Make sure you put the full works in it, and you get it off to the National Housing Corporation. I will send out officers to check to quantify that it is the exact amount, and we will hasten within 48 hours to get that material to you, so you can use that process to get your house back up as quickly as possible.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now makes it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.